Hi Smooners, welcome back to being Mrs. S. So today we're gonna sprinkle some BGM on you as always, and we're gonna get right into the topic of today. Okay, so the last video I put up, I got phone calls upon phone calls upon phone calls upon phone calls about it. That was my 8-month update, and I'm like 2 pounds away from having lost 100 pounds since I started my weight loss journey. And then while on Ozempic, almost 80 pounds since November, because that's when I started on Ozempic. So I've received so many phone calls. People are calling me and asking me, you know, the people who don't want to leave comments on the video, they're calling me and asking questions about, is this for real? Is this for real? And I mean, I don't know what else to say other than absolutely it is for real. I have lost that much weight and I'm still trying to lose more. I told you guys that I'm shooting for 130 pounds, really at 178. I need to lose maybe another 13 pounds to be at a normal weight for my height and all that. I want to give myself some wiggle room, because at this point in my life, no matter what, I'm going to probably gain those extra 20 pounds at any given moment. Well, I shouldn't say that, because that's I don't want the negativity in my life. But honestly, so my normal weight would be about 160-ish, 163 or something like that. But I want to try to hit 130, because I can't remember when last I was that. But if I get to 140 and that's where I stay, no big deal. But yeah, everyone's like, well, the people who've called me and asked about it have been like, how? And I'm like, really? I've been doing this on Ozempic since almost, what, 9 months now, and you guys are still asking these questions. You're watching the videos. Is it that you don't believe? And sometimes people just have to actually see it. It's not enough to just watch it on the video. Actually, one of my friends was like, yeah, it's one thing watching it on the video because people can edit videos and things like that, but seeing you in real life, I cannot believe, I mean, like, this is for real. It's the truth. So this video is because you asked, right? I'm talking about this because I think in some of my other videos, well, pretty much every single one of them, I have mentioned certain different things as to how I'm getting the success that I'm getting out of Ozempic. So because you have asked and you want me to sprinkle some BGM on you, we're gonna have this conversation. I'm gonna tell you what it is that I have been doing. I'll give you pointers as to what really needs to be done to, you know, help you along the way. So I have my little notes here that I have taken, and if I can read my handwriting, I'm just going to go step by step as to what I feel like you probably need to do if this is something you're embarking on, or you've already started and you're like, I'm not getting the results you're getting. What are you doing? This, that, and the other. So we're going to have this conversation. I'm going to tell you about it. And before I even go there, I want you guys to know I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a medical professional. These are things that I have done that have helped me along the way. And if it can help you, good. But it's not gospel. And, you know, I don't want you going out there saying, Mrs. S told me, I'm not telling you. I am telling you how it worked for me, and if it helps you, great. So let's get into it. The first thing that I did, which probably If I had really focused on it earlier on, I would have reached my goal a while back. And maybe I may have not been paying as much as I'm paying right now, because back then it was just coming out, and you know, people were more inclined to giving you those discounts or whatever, just to get the word out. So the first thing I did was do the research, and that's what you need to do. You need to do the research, figure out, you know, what's going on, about, you know, whether this is something that you want to do, if this is going to help you in any form, in any way. The first thing you have to do is do the research. I did extensive research on Ozempic, the whole GLP-1 class of drugs. I focused on Ozempic because I remember hearing about semaglutide, and I was like, yes, I'm going to do this research, which I did. And at the end of the day, I figured this is probably the best thing for me. So I would say that and visit your doctor are like neck and neck. They're the same. They're 1 and 2, 2 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. You know, go to your doctor, because you have to have your blood work. You have to get all these things done. You know, what is your goal? Why are you even interested in it? For me, I was pushing 300 pounds. I wouldn't be surprised if I actually did top out at 300 pounds at some point. But when I started gaining weight, after a while, it didn't even matter, or I wasn't, because I started trying to lose weight. I was like 240 something at the top of 2020. I got down to 208 or something. I got really close to being under 200 pounds, and then for some reason, right around May, June, when it was obvious this pandemic wasn't going away, certain things about work financially were hitting me hard, and I just basically just was like, all right, I give up. And then from there on, you know, and then my body, things that I didn't even understand were going on with me, and just from then on, I just started gaining. So I may have reached 300 pounds. I don't know. It was just at the beginning of, I think it was 2022, last year. I got on the scale, and I said, what is this? And that's where I saw it was like 276 or so. So you have to visit your doctor. You have to go and do your blood work. You need to find out what's going on with you hormonally, things like that. And you will notice these things. The skin is the biggest organ of your body, and the first sign of ill health or not altogether optimal health, your skin will start showing you. You're going to see discoloration, you're going to see blotches, skin blotches, you're going to see different things going on with your skin that will let you know something isn't quite right. So pay attention to your body, pay attention to what's happening to you, and then you realize. Now, I'm not talking about people who just have 5 pounds to lose. I'm not talking to those people, because obviously this is not your realm, right? We're talking about people who are morbidly obese. You know, I was in the obese class too by the time I decided to start taking this thing, I guess, seriously. And I said, I'm not going to allow myself to die. I'm not going to kill myself. I just need to get healthy. You know, my BMI was over 38. So I had spent considerable time doing the research. When I saw that 276.6, I was like, no way. This is unreal. I've never been this heavy before. And again, I keep telling you guys, I probably was heavier than that. At some point, I was just like, oh my God, I can't even move. So I started trying to lose the weight on my own. When I felt like I'd done enough of the research and I figured this was what I wanted to do, I talked to my friends who were doctors. I'd done my own research. I don't necessarily like doctors and hospitals and things like that, but I had to go to the doctor because I had to take my blood, do all those things. And that's when I decided, yes, this is what I wanted to do. Ask my doctor to write me the prescription. So go visit your doctor. Now, after you've done all that, after you've done your research, you've gone to see your doctor says, yes, you are either type 2 diabetic or you're on your way there. And if you've decided that Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, any of these GLP class of drugs are the way to go, then you buckle in. If you've got your prescription and you're ready to go, buckle in, but understand that it's gonna take patience. Going back to one of the phone calls I got, a lot of my friends are all in the same situation. We are at that age where you're either perimenopausal or you're already in full-blown menopause. And the spread, one of my friends called me and she was like, well, she doesn't want to get into the whole, oh, I'm, cheating and by taking these drugs. And I'm like, how are you cheating? I don't know if there are drugs out there where you can inject yourself and you start losing fat, your body just starts disintegrating and the fat just starts disappearing. I'm not sure. I've never heard of that, and I don't think I've ever done the research to figure that bit out. But that's not what Ozempic is. Ozempic, Wegovy, when you inject yourself, you're not going to, the fat is just not going to come out of your body. That's not what it does. So if you're thinking that it's a cheap drug, like I've heard people say that, you're wrong. And that's why a lot of people who thought that that was what it was about, who got on the drug and never saw any weight loss, that's why that happened, because they thought that they didn't need to make some life changes. They thought they didn't need to stop eating some of the bad foods they were eating. They thought they didn't need to get on a precise diet. And they thought they didn't need to exercise. They really just thought, I will inject myself and everything is going to be fantastic. Everything's going to be Gucci, but that's not it. So, a lot of people have seen and heard, you've been watching this, Ozempic, or I lost an Ozempic, and they think I'll take Ozempic and I'll be good, but that's not the case. That's not how it works. I'm sorry to tell you. So, if you've done the research, if you've gone to your doctor, if you've decided, yes, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, whatever, it's the way to go, and you have actually gone and purchased a prescription and you started on it, and you have 0 side effects, bravo, good for you. That's the category of people that I'm in. I didn't have a single side effect, and that's how I knew this drug was going to work perfectly for me. Going back to some of my friends who called me about, they were on Ozempic, what? You never had any side effects? They had side effects, and it just, no matter what they did, they just figured this is not going to work for me. And it's unfortunate. It may mean you need to stay on the lower dose and allow your body to get used to it. Some people just can't take it, all right? And just to see how it's going to work for you if you just stay on it a little while, because that's the way the body works. It has to get used to it. And maybe it's just not for you. Everybody's, physiology is and anatomy, it's all different. We're all human beings. We're all the same in that, in that aspect. But outside of that, there are things that are going to work differently for me, even if it's the same thing you're taking. So, if you've decided that Ozempic is for you, you have given yourself the shots and it's working, no side effects, perfect. That is great. So now let's move into what to do now that you know that this is working for you. It's not going to happen overnight. On the lowest doses, the 0.25 and the 0.5 doses, if you read the instructions, they'll tell you those are just pretty much to gauge, how your body reacts to the medicine and if, you're going to have side effects and how bad those side effects are going to be for you. They tell you that all the time. It's in the literature. So if you automatically assume that you're going to see tremendous weight loss in those first few months, the first couple of months, and you don't see it, don't despair, because that's just what that's what they've told you. For me, I did see weight loss on 0.25. Actually, when I look back, I think I saw a lot more than I've been seeing now. Now, it could be because, shock to my system. I wasn't eating as much as I was eating before, and the quality of what I was eating had changed, and that's why my body reacted quickly to it. But I don't know. But I'm here to tell you, don't give up, because that you're not seeing that much weight loss. It's a process. You didn't gain the weight overnight, even though it kind of seemed like it. But just hang in there. So like I said, it's not magic. You're not going to inject yourself and the fat is going to disappear. You have to make some changes. And one of the things you have to do is to listen to your brain, right? That's the way the medicine works. It's sending messages to the receptors in your brain, which in turn tell you, you're not hungry, you're full, things like that. You can ignore it, you can actually say, I'm hungry, and eat. And then that's going to be the problem, because then you're not losing weight, right? Because you're not listening to what the drug is trying to tell you to do. So, yeah, because you're sitting down, you're like, I haven't eaten all day. Why? So it's telling you you're not hungry. It's telling you you're full. So you have to listen to that. Part of why people have serious side effects, probably, I'm thinking, on the drug is that they're feeling full, but because I normally eat a lot more than that, so they keep eating, you're gonna be sick, because your stomach is telling you, your digestive system is telling you, you gotta cut it out. So that's the key thing. You have to listen to what the drug is telling you, and that's how the process is going to work. I think, again, we're going back to the part where I say it's not a magic drug, right? You have to make serious lifestyle changes to lose the weight. You have to. And one of the major things is calorie counting. You have to calorie count. Now, if you watched all my other videos, I told you I'm eating whatever I want. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm cooking with butter. Yes, I'm doing all those things. But I am calorie counting. And that's where all that research, you almost have to become a dietitian. You almost have to become a nutritional guru. You have to learn these things. You have to figure out what it is that you're going to put in your body that's going to help you along the way. So one of the things you're going to do is calorie count. Now, if you say, oh, I'm taking Ozempic and I only eat once a day, but that once a day, you eat, a bagel that's 350 calories, you fry a whole bunch of eggs, and at that one meal you had a day, you have, three whole meals worth of calories you've ingested in that just one meal. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. So these are the things you need to factor in. So you're gonna calorie count, right? So you need to make sure there's a calorie deficit, because you're trying to lose weight. You don't want to stay adding. You need to ensure there's a calorie deficit, and that way you're going to lose the weight. So whether you eat 3 times in the day, whether you eat once a day, twice a day, whatever it is, there must be some kind of calorie deficit, so you're not adding on, you're taking away. 1 + 1 is 2. So the next thing you want to do is you want to hydrate. I kid you not. When I say hydrate, I'm talking H2O, water. This is what I drink. I try to drink this whole thing a day. You can hear the water in it. I'm talking H2O because of the O in the H2O, the oxygen. You need to put some oxygen in your system. You need to stay hydrated. That it's just, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is important that you stay hydrated. And then the next thing you need to make sure you do is exercise. I exercise every day from the time I started losing weight on my own to the time that I added Ozempic into it. I was exercising, and it doesn't matter what you do for exercise. It doesn't matter how long you do it, but you just have to exercise. You have to get the body moving. Think about it. You don't have, your muscles are barely there. You have to build all those things back. You have to build your stamina back. You have to exercise your heart and your lungs. All these things work together to make your weight loss goal, a reality. So I've been working out since I started trying to lose weight on my own, and then with the help of Ozempic, even more. When I first started, I would do the treadmill, and I'd be on the treadmill for up to 45 to an hour. Light, no stress, no vigorous, just walking to just keep the body moving. Now that I've gone under, when I got under 200 pounds, when I got into Wonderland, I was like, oh yes. So I increased the intensity. Wasn't spending so much, every other day maybe I might go the whole 1 hour, but really even now I'm doing 30 minutes, 45 minutes of intensive working out. I jump rope, I lift weights, because I need to tone up my body. And now that I'm doing all those things, my metabolism has picked up. I'm getting hungrier quicker, and I'm not losing as much, really. Like, point this every day, point this every day. So it's more difficult for me to lose now, but I'm still losing. So that's the because you've asked. That is me sprinkling some BGM on you. I don't know what anybody else is doing. I'm focusing on myself and my goals. There's going to be a lot of people who chit chat in the back and say, oh, it's easy for her to lose weight because she's on Ozempic. And I'm going to tell those people, kudos to you. There are a lot of people who are on Ozempic, Wegovy, whatever you may call it, and they didn't lose any weight. I've actually seen some people who said I was on Ozempic for a whole year and I didn't lose. They've been on Ozempic, they didn't lose the weight, they moved on to other things, and some of them have come back to Ozempic. That's what it is. My goal is to not have to come back to Ozempic. My goal is to be off of Ozempic within the next month, and because by then I should be under, my BMI should be right around 25 or so. So I'm way under that 27 threshold. If my BMI is under 25, then my BMI is normal considering, and then I don't have to be on Ozempic anymore, and I can focus on trying to stay the course myself, continue working out, managing what I eat, and things like that. So a lot of what I've said right now, I've talked about it in other videos that I've posted before. But I think now, like I remember when I reached, I think it was when I'd lost around 40 something pounds. It's like right now, because I've lost double. When that first 40 and I posted the video, it was like, hey, people were calling me, what, how, this, that, and I was like, I put videos up every month that I update you guys, and I told you what I was doing. Now that I'm almost, 100 pounds lost, it's unbelievable. In less than a year, it's unbelievable. People don't believe it. I don't know why, because I've done this before. I'm actually hoping this never happens again, but I have lost the weight before, and before it was even more difficult because it was a serious regimen. I had to cut out a lot of things. So it was even more difficult before. But then I was younger and it was easier to do it. With all the things that I told you about that are kind of plaguing me in this old age that I'm getting into. it was a lot more difficult. So I think if you're in the same category and you're afraid to take control of your life because you're afraid of what people are going to say about you and mock you because you're on Ozempic, are you living for other people or are you living for yourself? Is the point about being healthy and staying alive for you? Like, I don't know. For me, it's about me. It's about me living a fantastic life with my husband, something that I've been looking forward to, being married, enjoying my life with my husband in good health, right? That's what it is about for me. So I know people are saying, you know, whatever they're saying, that's their business, right? But it's not. It's if the reason you don't want to take Ozempic is because you don't want people talking about you, I promise you, Ozempic is not a magic drug. You have to make lifestyle changes. It's not you give yourself the injection and blim blam blam, you're living your skinny girl era. No, you have to exercise. You have to manage your diet, calorie count. That's the thing. There has to be a calorie deficit. Think about the nutrients you're putting in your body. Increase into a protein diet. I mean, go and find out what works for your body. For me, I need protein. You know, meat, potato type of person. Manage those things. Eat well so that when you work out, your body is making use of the right type of energy, right? So that's what it is. Stay hydrated. But what's key is that you are healthy and that way you prolong, you live a good quality of life. And that's really what it is. Nothing else. Living your best life. I can tell you my life has completely improved. My blood pressure, what's the thing? My blood pressure, my knees don't hurt. I have so much energy. I get up in the morning, I go and do my workout. It feels good. You know, I think I'm the happiest I've been in a long time because I know that I'm making some positive changes and it's all going to work out for the best. So I hope I've answered the questions that you had. Watch these videos. I don't mind my friends calling me, honestly, because I know a lot of them would rather call than make the comments on the video because they don't want people to see that they're the ones they're asking these questions. But if you don't want to make your life better because you're afraid of what someone says, listen, I've even said it. If I wasn't so against hospitals, doctors, things like that, because I don't know what's going to happen if I go under the knife or whatever, I would have already had a gastric bypass at the time. I would have done all these things to just put myself in a better position. But with a gastric bypass and the stomach stapling and things like that, it's like cutting out of your body or restricting things that should naturally be there. I don't know. This is how I've seen it, right? This is how it works in my head. This way, with the GLP-1 agonist, it's mimicking hormones that are already in my body that are probably not doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. Some things happen and they're not acting the way they're supposed to be acting, which is why I'm eating more. My cravings are heightened, right? So the GLP-1 I'm putting it in my body, so it's waking up those hormones that are supposed to be doing this. They're supposed to be restricting. They're supposed to be telling me, slow down, and they're not doing it. So that's the way I see it. I'm not taking anything out. I'm replenishing what should be there. And that's the best way I can see it. I don't know if you talk to anybody else, I don't know how they see it, but that's how I see it. So nothing is being taken out. That's the thing, and that's that way I'm having the quality of life that I want to help. So anyway, I hope I've helped you guys out. Like I said, leave your comments. Let me know what's working out for you. I think what I want to do is just to go through YouTube and see if I can find somebody who's on Manjaro, Trulicity, Rybelsus or whatever, and kind of we'll all talk about our experiences. I mean, I think that's a great idea to do it and see what's, you know, just do a little round table and see what everybody's experiences are. But for me, Ozempic has been fantastic. It's been great. I feel really good, and I'm thankful for it. So anyway, don't forget to like, share, most especially subscribe, and I'll circle back. Love you, my Smooners.